If we've learned anything in the past quarter century, it is that we cannot federalize virtue. Indeed, as we pile law upon law, program upon program, rule upon rule, we actually can weaken people's moral sensitivity. The rule of law gives way to the rule of the loophole, the notion that whatever is not illegal must be acceptable. In this way, great goals go unmet. When Lyndon Johnson, President Johnson, spoke here in 1964, he addressed issues that remain with us. He proposed revitalizing cities, rejuvenating schools, trampling down the hoary harvest of racism, and protecting our environment. Back in 1964, he applied the wisdom of his time to these challenges. He believed that cadres of experts really could care for the millions, and they would calculate ideal tax rates, ideal rates of expenditures on social programs, ideal distributions of wealth and privilege, and in many ways, theirs was an America by the numbers. If the numbers were right, America was right. And gradually, we got to the point of equating dollars with commitment, and when programs failed to produce progress, we demanded more money. And in time, this crusade backfired. Programs designed to ensure racial harmony generated animosity. Programs intended to help people out of poverty invited dependency. We should have learned that while the ideals behind the Great Society were noble, and indeed they were, the programs weren't always up to the task. We need to rethink our approach. Let's tell our people, we don't want an America by the numbers. We don't want a land of loopholes. We want a community of commitment and trust. When I talked of a kinder, gentler nation, I wasn't trying to just create a slogan. I was issuing a challenge. An effective government must know its limitations and respect its people's capabilities. In return, people must assume the final burden of freedom, and that's responsibility. Any introductory course in political philosophy teaches that freedom entails responsibility. Most of our greatest responsibilities confront us not in the government hearing rooms, but around dinner tables, on the streets, at the office. And if you teach your children and others how to hate, they will learn. And if you encourage them not to trust others, they'll follow your lead. And if you talk about compassion but refuse to help those in need, your children will learn to look the other way. Once your commencement ends, you'll have to rely on the sternest stuff of all, yourself. And in the end, government will not make you good or evil. The quality of your life and of our nation's future depends as much on how you treat your fellow women and men as it does on the way in which we in Washington conduct our affairs of state. After all, the opposite of greed is not taxation, it is service. My vision for America depends heavily on you. You must protect the freedoms of enterprise, speech, and spirit. You must strengthen the family. You must build a peaceful and prosperous future. And we don't need another great society with huge and ambitious programs administered by the incumbent few. We need a good society, built upon the deeds of the many, a society that promotes service, selflessness, action. The good society poses a challenge. It dares you to explore the full promise of citizenship, to join in partnership with family, friends, government, to make our world better. The good society does not demand agonizing sacrifice. It requires something within everyone's reach: common decency and commitment. Know your neighbors. Build bonds of trust at home, at work, wherever you go. Don't just talk about principles, live them. Let me leave you today with an exhortation. Make the most of your abilities. Question authority, but examine yourself. Demand good government, but strive to do what is good. Take risks. Muster the courage to be what I call a point of light. Also, define your missions positively. Don't seek out villains. Don't fall prey to obsessions about freedom from various ills. Focus on freedom's promise, on your promise. When John Kennedy talked of sending a man to the moon, he didn't say, we want to avoid getting stranded on this planet. He said, we'll send a man to the moon. We must be equally determined to achieve our common goals. We live in the most exciting period of my lifetime, quite possibly of yours. The old way of doing things have run their course. Find new ones. Dare to serve others, and future generations will never forget the example you set. This is your day. Barbara and I are very proud to share it with you. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and thank you for the honor, and God bless the United States of America.
Oh, here, yeah. And the engineers are here.